Hello, OWL members. I am thrilled to announce this month's Inside the OWL Studio will feature Dompé, who supports OWL as a united sponsor. Dompé is a privately owned global biopharmaceutical company established in 1940 in Italy. They conduct research activities as part of a network of over 300 centers and universities around the globe. Dompé is engaged in the development and distribution of prescription drugs and OTC products, dietary supplements, and medical devices, as well as the treatment of rare diseases and conditions with high unmet needs. Without further delay, I would like to welcome this month's interviewee, Jennifer Cross, Director of Field Marketing, KOL, and Peer-to-Peer Strategy at Dompé US. Welcome to Inside the OWL Studio, Jennifer.
Thank you so much, Abby. I'm really looking forward to spending time with you today. And of course, I'm honored to be a member of OWL. And it's just been so great to see the organization evolve and making significant impact in the eye care community.
Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. And thank you for your time today and the Dompé support that you give OWL. It is so appreciated and we are so grateful. As you know, the OWL organization continually strives to create networking and educational activities to support the mission of advancing diversity and leadership. I find it hugely beneficial to hear from other organizations such as Dompé about their efforts in this area. And so with that being said, I am very excited to hear from you about Dompé's initiatives, and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Great. Well, when I think of, diversity and inclusion, I'm really proud to represent Dompé and hope that I can do my colleagues justice as, in sharing all that they have done to ensure diversity and inclusion is a foundational value for Dompé. And personally, when one of the reasons why I joined Dompé is over 60% of our leadership team is comprised of women, and seeing this and now experiencing it really aligned to my passion in supporting and elevating women, helping give them the confidence to build up other women. So, at Dompé, we hold ourselves accountable to our vision of really being human, courageous, and responsive. And in order to live up to this vision, we must have diverse perspectives informing every aspect of the work that we do. So I am looking forward to, sharing with you the significant amount of energy that Dompé has put into supporting diversity and inclusion. And there's really 4 key areas that we've focused on. So the first one is raising awareness and encouraging dialogue about race and inequity as a systemic issue in the global workplace. So we've done a lot of different forums for our employees. Most recently, we participated in a workshop that discussed the need to be willing to take part in courageous conversations. So this allowed us to acknowledge that, conversations about race can be difficult, and, but if you conduct them with, candor and empathy, they can really enable everyone to bring their full selves to the workplace. We've also recognized the importance of cultural experiences and moments. And we're proud that Dompé took the initiative to add Juneteenth holiday to our national holiday calendar, even before it was a federal holiday. And recently, we celebrated Black History Month by treating all of our employees to a meal at a local Black-owned restaurant. So a second critical area of focus for Dompé has been to recruit and retain diverse talent. So we're really diligent. We've been diligent about broadening our outreach and networking. So you can imagine last year in our 2021 inaugural internship program, it included 3 interns who were historically Black colleges and universities. So, while recruiting and, has been a critical driver of our diversity initiatives, we also recognize we must be mindful in remaining inclusive in our workplace. So we've initiated employee-driven initiatives such as book clubs or coffee chats, known in Italy. As you know, Dompé is an Italian company, and we call them Discorsi sul Caffè. And we also have an affinity group for Black employees. And all of this has just created a safe space for employees to connect to one another. And then finally, knowing that, inequities are deeply embedded in healthcare, we're really conscious about partnering with others who are equally committed to addressing diversity. So most recently, we partnered with Black Eyecare Perspective to host a clinical trial webinar focused on increasing diversity and representation within clinical trials. And, in addition to OWL, we support many other organizations who are also committed to diversity and inclusion in healthcare. So as you can see, Dompé has made the commitment and ensured that inclusion and diversity is a foundational value for us.
Yeah, you've been busy, and I love to hear that, Jennifer. I think I've been taking notes, so I'm sorry if I'm looking down at times, but I think these groups that you're doing internally, I'm fortunate enough to talk to many companies about what they're doing in D&I, and I think that inclusivity is so important to create that safe space, as you mentioned, and I think something that gets lost in a lot of this, and I think you were going there without saying it, is the belonging aspect. It's one thing to have diversity and inclusion, but the belonging is where people feel very safe, and they can feel like they can dance like no one is watching, right? I mean,
absolutely,
that's where you want your employees to be,
yes.
At the end of the day. And I think that doing these little, what did you call them? The coffee chats?
The Discorsi Soul Cafe. Discorsi Soul Cafe.
I just wanted to hear you say it again.
I have to have the Italian accent.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet.
And book clubs, I think that's such a nice way of bringing people together, that's not kind of work related and lets people breathe a little bit. So I'm really happy to hear that Dompé is doing this. And then also, I was unaware of the female representation that your company has. And I think that is just phenomenal. What's really clear here is that Dompé has done an excellent job in many ways here to progress and make sure that the company as a whole is accountable and doing things in this area that will perpetuate diversity, inclusion, and belonging. And I think that's key. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to our final few questions that I have for you, Jennifer. What is your favorite word in eye health care?
Ooh, my favorite word. Well, I'll have to thank Dr. Mitch Jackson for this, but DJMJ. But really, what those 4 letters embodies is just a celebration of, a collective group of people who share passion for eye care. We're truly part of such a unique and, community where we support each other and in a common goal of helping patients. And to me, it just represents a celebration of all of that.
Wonderful. I'm sure he will love to hear that. What is your least favorite word?
My least favorite word. Well, I'm not sure if I have a least favorite word, but I shadowed a doctor once and he showed me a patient who had Demodex. And to say the least, I'm thankful there's a treatment on the horizon.
Isn't that true? Those images can be disturbing.
Yes.
If you were going to pursue another role in eye health care other than your own, what would it be and why?
Oh, wow. I've been, really fortunate to participate in many roles on the commercial side of the organization for different organizations. So, all my buckets are really filled right now in my current role and company. I truly work with one of the best teams in eye care. I'm not sure many of you probably do know Alexa, Jill, Leslie, and Dane, and Julian, and they just really keep me energized. But I guess if I had to pick something else, maybe it would be leading a sales organization.
Very cool. Very cool. What role would you not want to try?
Ooh, would I not want to try? This is such a difficult question. I admire and wish I had the talent and focus to be a doctor or a technician or, a scientist. All those roles contribute to, the success of an organization and the success of eye care. So I really can't think of a role that would be a bad experience, but I can tell you, I am positive that there are many of them I would not be good at.
I'm with you on that, definitely. Let me see. The last question here is, and if you could do any one thing in addition to what we've talked about today to contribute to diverse leadership in eye healthcare, what would that be?
Well, I started off by, saying I joined Dompé because over 60% of the leadership is women. I have a real passion for building other women up, bringing other women along. So at the end of the day, really just instilling confidence and kindness amongst anyone I have the opportunity to lead is important to me. And I guess if I had to simplify it, it really starts by just trying to put a smile on each person's face that I interact with, and hopefully inclusion in the community will start to increase.
Oh, I love that, Jennifer. That's wonderful. No, seriously.
Yeah, and I mean
kindness,
yes.
right? Treat
Yes,
others as you would want to be treated. I think that's the
absolutely.
key.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I have my surprise question for you.
Okay.
If you had a superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, if I had a superpower, what would it be? I guess, I'm always curious to, when I see different facial expressions, what people are thinking. So if I could, hear their thoughts in their mind, I think that would be really interesting, although it might make me, more insecure. Maybe it's better off, I don't know, but I just think it would be cool to just see all the crazy and goofy things that other people are thinking. Cause I know that, I think crazy and goofy things as well.
I love that answer. And again, I appreciate your time today. It has been a joy to speak with you and meet you. And kudos again to Dompé. It sounds like you guys are really leading the way here with diversity, inclusion, and belonging. I appreciate your time and your support of OWL. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby.